Yeah, and feel free to ask me like if you have any questions parallelly, definitely like, yeah, you can ask me like anytime during the sessions or end of the session, up to you guys, like, yeah. And you feel like if the session is going too fast or I'm talking too fast, like, yeah, feel free to stop me, ask me like, yeah, go for like a little bit slower as well. Okay, so I think like I hope like everyone will have your own developer account. So, and also I will share like my credential over here. So basically the username is sfwinter2020@salesforce.com. So I will put it here like the username. This is again for your reference. So yeah, so you can use it like for your reference. So the password is NOV@2020. Okay, good. So whenever if you try to log in, it will ask activation code, but I will remove that conditions. So it won't ask any activation code whenever you log in. I will try to remove that, but again, I will show you how I am removing that. So that is for security purpose. Whenever if you try to log in a Salesforce org from a different IP ranges, so maybe if you are accessing the Salesforce not only developer account, any account. So if you try to access that into a specific IP, first time it will ask activation code in order to recognize that particular system. And if you try to access like a different IP, again it will ask. So that is for mainly security purpose. So if you want to bypass that, yes, Salesforce providing option to bypass that as well. So I will show you that in a minute. Okay, so as I mentioned, mainly there are two things you need to understand. One is configuration and another one is customization. Yeah, so configuration means admin work, customization means coding. So again, within the admin itself, there is some basic customization, but generally customization means we call it as like a coding. So basically like a developer work. So within the configurations, you can do all, otherwise like the other name is click. And customizations code. Yeah, so most of the configuration, like all the clicks, we are not going to do any coding, but most of the time like we are doing the configuration, especially for admin training, we are going to do complete configurations. Yeah, if I say customization, that is the developer job, basically the development work. So there will be a backend coding involved. Yeah, now in order to do any customization or configurations, you have to jump into the backend. So this is, we call it as a backend, Salesforce back office. So front end, if I want to jump into the front end, here is the app launcher. We call it as app launcher, application launcher. So basically like all the application will be stored on the app launcher menu. So once if you click on that, you can see list of applications, different applications, and you can navigate into any one of the applications. So let's say like if I am navigating into sales, so now this is the front end. So these are all like additional pop-up, which I will explain to you. So how we can create like this pop-up like from our own. Yeah, we can create it like whenever like if you are visiting to the new page, we can give you like some new information to the end users. Yeah. And yeah, so this is the front end where end user can go and use the applications. So this is especially for a sales cloud. The similar way, if you are creating a new applications, the end user, like again, the front end can be customizable. You can go and customize, like using the configuration, you cannot do much customizations. But if you are using the coding, so if you are using like the HTML or JavaScript, we can completely customize this entire page. So for example, we have created one end user screen. Basically, we build a website using Salesforce itself. So if I go for the big GitHub, yeah, at the moment this screen is built on Salesforce basically. You will see like you never see like there is a Salesforce. This is built on the Salesforce now. So if I go for a charity login, you need to like enter the username password to log in. Like if you're not a member, you can go and register it. This is completely built on the Salesforce. Again, these are all like we used a coding to build this page, not via configurations. So configuration, basically, we are going to utilize the Salesforce look and feel, and we are going to do small configuration, because as an admin, you are going to do configuration only. But if you're a developer, you can do like this. This entire page can be, yeah, this is designed on the custom coding. Completely, we can rebrand the page using our custom coding, including the domain also. You will see there is no Salesforce here. So completely like we changed it like for clients. So whenever we do like a implementation for a clients, depends on their requirement. Yes, we can go and modify that. Okay. So today what I'm going to cover you, basically like I will cover you the Salesforce org overview. So once we are done with that, then we will jump into the data model, like how Salesforce data model will work. Then after that, I will take you to the overview, like how the process will work in normal, like a real-time scenarios. So how we will get the requirement from the client, how we can translate that requirement into a business. So we will go through that one by one. Yeah. So at the moment, I'm going to give you like the complete overview of the Salesforce org. Okay. So as I mentioned, this is the logo, application logo. This logo can vary based on the app. So if you are looking at the Sales Cloud or Service Cloud, or depends on the org, we can change this logo. I will show you like how to modify all those. And this is the app launcher in order to navigate from one application to another applications, or one menu to another menu. Like you can see like these are all the different tabs. So the tab is the another keyword basically, which you need to remember it. So I will show you that. Tab means similar to the browser, like the website menus. So in website menu, if I go for any website, let's say like the big give, or yeah, I will go here, or like any company website, like so let's say like, yeah, these are all like a different websites. So this is the menu, right? The same menu, this, once if you click on the menu, it will take you to that particular page. Yeah. So the similar way in Salesforce also, if you click on any of the items, like let's say like if I am clicking on the contact, it will take you to that page. Yeah. So now that's, we call it as a tab in Salesforce. So tab means basically it's an entity. So in database point of view, I will say like it's an object basically. To access the object, we have to use the tab. So tab will help you to navigate from one object to another object. Okay. So again, this is the app launcher where you can go and navigate like between the applications, also between the tabs. And this is the app name. So the app name will appear over here. And these are all the different tabs associated to this app. So these tabs may vary based on these applications. And here is the global search bar. So this is the global search bar where you can go and search. So generally, like you can go and search the any records, like recently if you are working, or if you are looking for any recent customers, or if you are looking for any company, yeah, you can go and find out using this global search bar. It will help you to search across the org based on your access levels. If you don't have access to the record, it may not return that values. So what are the access levels? Depends on your access level, the result will be displayed. Yeah. So only what are the object you have access to it, you will get the result. If you don't have access to it, it won't return basically. Yeah, because you don't have access to that particular record. Yeah. And this is basically the favorites. So let's say in our mobile phone directory, we have a favorite option. So you can go and add people to the favorites, right? The similar way, whenever if you are working for any companies or any contact, the frequent contact, I will say, like frequently you are talking to them like a daily basis, maybe like they are giving more business. So what you can do, you can simply add them into a favorites. So let's say like I opened a gen point. So now if I click on this favorites, so it will add it to a in my favorite list. So now if I go about any of the contact, let's say like I will take Jake. Now if I click on favorite, so it will add it to my favorites. Now if I want to go for like the contact, so or maybe the company, what I can do, simply I can navigate into in my list and I can click on that gen point. So it will take me to the page immediately, the detail page. So basically it's a shortcut. Instead of going to the account and search for like all the contact, from there like you need to navigate into that particular company, right? So instead of navigating like this many clicks, the shortcut will help you to navigate quickly. Just single click, you can go into that page, the similar page. So this is basically the detail of that company. So let's say GenPoint is the one of the company. So here like you can see all the detail about that company. And the similar way, contact personal information in that company, like how many people are working in that company and what is their personal details, like their name, their details, their phone number, emails, and everything. Yeah, we'll go through that, all this. And the plus icon, basically this is the global actions. Using the global actions, you can quickly create a new company or new inquiries or new opportunity or new issues. Like this will help you to quickly do the jobs. So basically like you can create a new meeting using Salesforce itself. And similar way, like you can create a new task. Like a task means the reminder. Like if you want to set up a reminder yourself, you can do that. So these are all can be done using the global actions. Again, this can be customizable. If you want to put your own action to over here, maybe like do you feel like some of the action you want to include it here? Yes, you can go and customize this global actions, which we will go through it. And the next one is help and training. Basically like yeah, here you can navigate and look for like any help from the Salesforce side. There are like plenty of documents available. So there is a Triled, go to Triled, or maybe like there is a community, Salesforce community. You can go and check. Like yeah, if you are looking for any help, definitely this question mark will help you to understand. Like yeah, it will take you to the help page where you can search for like additional knowledge. Yeah, and this is the gear icon, which will help you to navigate to the backend. So basically the back office, or this setup will help you to navigate to the Salesforce setup, basically the backend setup, general setup. And this setup will help you to navigate into the Service Cloud setup, because Service Cloud, there are different settings are available. So to go to that, like you have to use this link. And the developer console is, most of the time the developer can use this developer console where he can go and write the coding. So let's say like if they want to create a new page, so let's say I'm going to create a one small page. Again, for admin you don't need to worry about it. So here you can go and put like just a page. Let's say I will say h1. Yeah, it's again normal HTML code. You can use it inside the Apex page tag, and then you can preview that. Like you save it and then simply you can preview that output. Yeah, just give me a minute. Yeah, now you can preview it. So whenever if you refresh it, you will see. Again, if you want to align it to center, or like yeah, there are more options available. Again, this is for developer. So the developer console will be used to create a development, like basically to customize the applications. Yeah, they will use the developer console to do their jobs. Yeah, that is on the developer console. Edit page, in order to customize this page, basically if you want to add a more component in this page or remove some of the component, so this edit page will help you to customize this page. And edit object, so edit object means it will take you to the detail. So first of all, you need to know what is object, right? We'll go through that. That is the data model basically. So what is meant by object, why we call it as object, yeah, I will explain to you. But again, this link will take you to the that particular object detail. So we'll go through that. And the next one is notification icon. So like if you get any new message from your colleagues, or like any follow-up reminder notifications, or like, yeah, all the notification will appear here. Again, this will be again from the mobile phone also, you will get the same notification once if you configure the mobile app. Then this is the like we call it as a user menu basically. So under the user menu, you can see like your profile details. So your user details and settings, it will take you to your details. And in order to log out from the Salesforce org, you can click log out. So basically, like if you want to log out from the Salesforce, and you can click log out. Once if you log out, it will take out from the Salesforce. Again, you need to use the login. So basically, you can use the same like the username password. So in order to log in back into Salesforce, the URL is login.salesforce.com. Then you need to enter your username password. So basically, like my username is this one, sfwinter 2020 at salesforce.com, and the password is nov at 2020. Yeah, see, now it's asking me to enter the mobile number. If we enter the mobile number, going forward, all the communications like the activation code goes into the mobile number. So at the moment, I don't want to register my mobile number. So yeah, once if you register it, the activation code goes into that mobile number, registered mobile number. If you are not entering any mobile number, it will go into your registered email. So what email you provide, it will go into that email. Okay. So now this is again a backend. So I will go back to the front end page. So let's say like a sales. I'm into the front end now. So then there is a display density. Compify means, let me show you the difference basically. So I don't know, like most of the people, they don't know what is like a density, why we are using it. So basically, Campify, you can see like the details, label is top and the value is below. So here like account name is top and the value, whatever we are entering it. So let's say like if I edit any one of the record. So this is the label. We call it as a label, like a label, and whatever like the value, if you are entering it, it will come as the values. Yeah. So basically it shows top and below the label, it will show the values. But where in case if I change the density, the display density to compact, now you will see the difference. So the label is displaying in the left hand side and the value is displaying as a right hand side. This is the label, this is the value. So up to the user's perspective, like if you want to change like this behavior, like left and right, you can go for it. Or if you want like just top and bottom, like you can go for that as well, like a Compify. So by default, like there will be a Compify options. So basically like the label will display like a top and the value will be display bottom. Okay, so that is for density. And there is an option like a switch to Salesforce Classic. So if we click on that, it will take you to the Classic. This is the Salesforce old look and feel. So before 2016, we used this screen basically. So this is the Salesforce old screen. And yeah, these days, like we are not using the screen. So they totally changed it into a lightning experience, because in lightning experience, they get like a good look and feel and more configuration stuff. So as admin, you can do a lot of configuration on the lightning experience compared to a classic. In classic, you cannot do much configurations. You have to depends on the developer all the times. But in lightning experience, they come up with a lot of things in the configuration itself. So to configure the page, yes, you can use it like you in order to change the page, this page, like you can use the lightning experience easily. But in the where in case of the classic, it's very difficult to change the design. It's very difficult to change the page. Always you have to depends on the developers. So that is the main reason. Like again, there are plenty of new stuff available on the Lightning experience, and also it's a page centric. So basically, in Lightning experience, if you build, it's a component centric model. So see here, this page build on multiple components. So this is the one component. Now if I go for a lead or account, so now this page build on multiple component. This is the one of the component up to this portions. One of the component, this one another component, this one another component. Like this, the Lightning experience build on the component centric, but where in case of the classic, it's a page centric. It's just a single page. Like if you want to customize that page, yes, again, it's very difficult. It's just a page centric model. But in Lightning experience, it's a component centric model. So basically we can define the component. So this is a separate component, this is a separate component, all these are all like a different component. You can go and play around with that component. So if I show you that, if I click on the edit, it will take you to the app builder where you can go and do lot of configurations. See here. So now if you don't want this, you can simply delete that. If you don't want this, you can, this is the one component. Again, this is another component. If you want to add a new tab, you can add it, like, let's say like I would like to add a custom tab. See, it get added testing now. The similar way here also you can configure like a news, and I will say like in stuff detail, I will go for a custom, maybe report, reports and dashboard. I will say just a reports. See, it get added. Now from the report, you can add like your own component. Like let's say maybe at the moment I will go ahead with the any of the reports or some kind of recommendation. Just so see here, these are all the different component where you can use it. So there are like a tab component, or maybe like a, do you feel like you want to put some text, you can put like the text also. So this is the very easy to configure for administrator. So we'll go through that all this in detail. Just this is high level, but again, yeah. So now if I activate assign to org default, whether desktop or phone or desktop phone, I want like the same page appear on both devices. So just, yeah, save it. And also they give a preview, so you can view it like a desktop how it's look like, and the phone how it's look like. Now if I go back to the page and see the difference, see the whatever you modified, see you get like a new tab over here. Yeah, this one I didn't save it, that's why like we didn't get here. So yeah, like yeah, I just saved it, like we got like that information over here. Here you can go on to put like your more stuff. So like similar to this, because it's a component centric model, so you can go and add your own component over here. That is the benefit of having Lightning experience. But these days most of the customer, they are going to use Lightning experience only, no more classic. Salesforce like they have stopped providing like a support on the Salesforce classic. They said like, yeah, please migrate like all your existing org into a Lightning experience. But there are few customer, like a old customer, still like they are using the classic, because they are not able to migrate it. In order to migrate it, like they have to again look for any vendors to migrate that. Like for them, like it's a huge expensive. So people like, yeah, still like they are using the classic versions. Depends on the client where you are working like with the company. So maybe like if they are using the classic, yes, you have to jump back to the classic using this link. Or Lightning experience, simply, yeah, once if you log into the classic, let's say like once if you jump into the classic, there is a link again, switch to Lightning experience. Just click on that, it will take you to the Lightning experience. Yeah, and once again, yeah, so let me log into that. Let me refresh it. So add a username. Like if you want to add a new username, At the moment it's logging out basically. So basically it's trying to create a new developer account, but yeah, that is not the case. So generally like you won't get that link in the production org because this is the developer org. They keep on adding like new stuff. But yeah, in the real-time org you won't get this link by default. Like you will get only switch to a Salesforce Classic, but whenever if you click on it, it will take you to the new user creations basically in this. Yeah, so that's all for the user interface on front end. So these are all like a different component. You can go and modify all these component on the home page, any other page. Yeah, whenever if I say page, this will include everything. And the menu, like up to this is the menu, like the tabs. Yeah, and this is the logo, and this is the app launches, and the page means, so if I go here, this is the page, basically the record detail page. Okay, so in the backend, so now simply click on the setup. It will take you to the backend where you can do more configuration and customizations, which we'll go through it. Okay, now let's jump into the data model. So that is the next important one. So how like the Salesforce data model will cover. So if you take a normal database, here we call it as a table, columns, rows. That is the general database. So if you take any database, MySQL or SQL or there are a lot. Yeah. So if you take any database, normal database, we call it as a table, columns, rows. But where in case of Salesforce, we call it as a object, fields, and records. So object means it's similar to a table, field means it's a column, record means it's a row. So again, I'm not sure like how many of you guys understand this normal database concept, table, column, rows. So let me explain to you in Excel sheet format. So if you go back to the Excel sheet, let me create one Excel sheet here. Or even I use like the old one, this one, yeah. See here, oh, this is not a good one, I believe. Sorry. Let me create new. Okay. So if I go and put like contact and name, email, phone. Now I will say like a test one. Okay. Now object means basically this contact. So contact is an object. So in Excel sheet, we call it as a tab, right? So this tab basically go into a object in Salesforce. So contact is the one of the tab, right? So this tab in Salesforce, we call it as a object. So this is like basically Excel. This is Salesforce, and this one normal database. So hereafter, like if anybody asks like, yeah, object means, you need to understand like basically it's a tab in Excel sheet. This is an example basically. So example. So contact. Yeah. So in Excel, we call it as a tab, but in Salesforce, that will be converted into an object. In normal database, we call it as a, what is that? Like it's a table. Any questions, anyone so far? Are we good?
Yes.
Okay. Then the tab. Okay, so name, email, phone. So basically these are all the columns, right? So in Excel sheet, we call it as a columns. This is a column, right? And like in Excel sheet, like same way in Salesforce also, we call it as a fields. So name is the one of the field, email is the one of the field, and the phone is another one more field. In normal database, we call it as a, what we call it as in normal database? Columns. Yeah. So for example, here name, email, phone, these are all the either columns or fields. Again, in Excel sheet, this one we call it as a row, right? Each row. In database level, it's a row, but in Salesforce, we call it as a records. So hereafter, if I say object, yeah, this is the main difference you need to understand. So yeah, I'll just highlight this. So in Excel sheet, we call it as a tab, which is this one. And in Salesforce, it's converted into an object. And normal database, we call it as a table. So hereafter, if I say object means it's a table or a tab, fields means it's a column, and record means it's a one of the row. Yeah. So record detail page, I will say like a record detail page, it means row detail, basically like the entire detail page we are going to view it. So in Salesforce, let's say like this is the tab basically, which is object. And now these are all the records. We say like all the records. Now if I open any one of this record, which is detail page, record detail page. Is that clear? Because hereafter, like the terminology will be object, fields, records. Yeah. So the meeting going to be end in a 1 minute. So once it's ended, like use the same link to rejoin. Yeah. Cool. So I will take this and I will put in the over here itself. So that you understood.